Hello YouTube, the Eye of Stone here. We are continuing with our Let's Replay of Thief the Dark project. Today we are going to be doing the Haunted Cathedral. You can call it the first Haunted Cathedral mission if you like. As usual, we're playing on hard. As usual, there will be no saves at any time during the level. Going into a sealed, burnt to a crisp, haunted, zombie and burrick infested part of town all by ourselves to steal a magical object for an enigmatic and frightfully urbane client that we know nothing about couldn't possibly be a bad idea. So without any further consideration of this course of action, let us jump right in. Here we go. Let's start by shedding a little bit of light on the subject. Now, let's also not be in so much of a rush to get going that we forget to floss for loot. There's a lot of instances of loot just like that in this level. You have to be proactive about looking for it or you're going to miss most of it. So you want to get these, then go up here. See, just like this. It's not exactly a secret, but you're not going to run into it either. You've got to remember to take a step to go after stuff like this. No, it's not loot, but those are supplies that will come in handy. I guarantee it. It's deceptively quiet. There's plenty of undead denizens just on the other side of this wall. You can hear the ghost. By now it may be common knowledge, but the noise that ghost makes is Victoria in the scary cutscene played backwards. Yeah, the joint's jumping tonight. But we cannot allow that to perturb us. We cannot allow that to perturbate us. There's loot to be had in these crannies and nooks. And by no means are we going to get to everything. Now, rather exotic wildlife down here. You know, I look at the Craymen and I wonder how closely they are related conceptually to the Kershak from Thief Deadly Shadows, if the one follows from the other or if they really are separate ideas. I mean, they are both aquatic after a fashion, and they are both big. If something goes wrong, if you were thinking you were going to end it in one strike and you don't, just press the attack. If you are foolish enough to kick something off like that in a confined space where you can't dodge to either side, just push forward. Don't let up. Theoretically, you wouldn't be doing it that way, the way I just did it. That Crayman is beige, whereas the ones seen in the final level of this game are blue. I wonder if the, you know, the information in the files in the game shed any light on that. Maybe it's just two different varieties. Now, if you follow this series of tunnels to its end, you're going to run into stiff resistance from the Burricks. We are not going to go as far as engaging them head on, but we can pilfer this room in relative comfort, and if we're going to mess with these underground tunnels and sewers again, we will do so from the opposite direction. But for now, we're going to back off the way we came. Go straight back out the way we came. This is a doozy of a level. You've got a lot of work ahead of you when you start this level. You know, it's like the level does successfully give you the sensation of, you know, you're really crossed a line, as it were, when you decided to jump over the barricades and come here. You know, both in terms of just coming here for this mission, and this is a doozy of a mission as a mission, but it's also an even bigger doozy in terms of what it represents, of Garrett now being way in over his head. And I don't know where Garrett's instincts were. Maybe Constantine, you know, the trickster put some kind of wiles on him, or maybe he was semi-distracted by Victoria, but Garrett was, you know, at the extreme end of being oblivious, to have just played this, you know, played this as the straight man, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, you need your fire arrows. If you use all your fire arrows, your very last fire arrow, you will break the level, so you can't do that. But fortunately, there are fire arrows all over this level, so you can use them, and you can rearm. But until you do the thing that you're going to need the fire arrows for, I would keep at least 2 of them, at least. And again, it can be, you know, you can fudge it a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let us see if we can't convince Mr. Zombie here to deal with Mr. Burrick for us. Okay, so we've certainly got the Burrick's attention. We just need to get... Alright, that should do it. Nope. We gotta go in here. Yep. They're going at it. I definitely don't want to see that. And here comes Mr. Ghost. So that's an added bonus. I don't like the ghosts. The ghosts are annoying. They have way too much endurance. You can kill them with direct damage, but they, you know, they hurl projectiles at you, which are almost impossible to dodge at close range unless you're dancing, which you can, but those skulls shoot out pretty quickly. I find that holy water isn't terribly impressive against them either, and it turns into a lot of water arrows used. I mean, there are some levels in the first game where you have a ton of flash bombs This level is one of them. And, you know, again, some levels where you can get more of them. It's always it's questionable if this is really going to be a good use of them. On the other hand, there's no living people here in this level to knock out with them. So what else are we going to use them for if not for the supernatural? And, you know, when you can take out a zombie with 2, you know, water arrows or 1 fire arrow, the flash bombs probably are the most economical way to take out a ghost. You know, enough overhead swings will kill them, but that was technically a blind shot. Technically. Alright, they did in Mr. Burrick. We're gonna go up here. We throw this switch. We go in here. So, again, a certain number of times you are going to be able to rearm and re-equip. There's only so many, but this level is not ungenerous with re-provisioning you. You want to... I'm just OCD. Wholly unnecessary, but good form. Thief is a refined game. We close doors when we're done. We also hurl zombie skulls up and then straight down again. It's better when they're looking at you when they come flying down. You want to keep a pace. You want to keep moving in this level. This is a level where it does not do itself. You've got to keep a pace or you're going to get tired out long before you get the tasks of this level completed. Now you want to run in here as quickly as that door opens without watching where you're going. And that's why. And see, we just were able to re-equip ourselves a little bit. We've sure got a lot of mines. I think there's some Burricks who are gonna get to know those mines very well. It's a lot of lockpicking. Sometimes you just want to smash through the doors, but that would be barbaric. Alright. Don't forget this little nook here on the left side. More fire arrows. Definitely going to need that breath potion later. There's a very dangerous section of flooded sewer with loot in it, but the water gives you a lot of resistance, and it's very possible to go far enough to drown yourself. You know, I'll be double backing the entire time. I don't really memorize the levels, you know? I don't make it just a simple little mathematical to-do list that I do it the same way every time. I think in my mind I've resisted reducing these levels to just a checklist. So, after all these years, somehow getting through these levels is still kind of an open-ended thing. It's like, no 2 of them. Okay, bro, you are dead meat. No 2 plays of a Thief level are ever the same for me, is what I'm trying to say.
What?
he had backup. This is becoming costly. So we're going to finish them both with this. Alright, so we expended a lot of resources there. Now we're going to make good use of the real estate we liberated. Let's get the loot in this area. When you kill an enemy or incapacitate an enemy, you get a sort of, you know, day pass on a certain segment of the level where you don't have to worry about pacing yourself against any enemies. So if there's loot here, it is upon me to get it. If there's loot, if there's power-ups to be gotten. I think I got the thing over here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I did. Alright. Let's go over here. Yeah, no. Let's... Alright, now there's something up here. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go over there. There are certain situations where you have to leave rope arrows where they are for later, or in certain cases there are times where you will sacrifice a rope arrow for a one-way trip. I try to avoid that as much as possible. Especially if it's a level where you're going to need the rope arrows more than once. I try to keep them all with me as much as possible. Alright. So this all connects back with itself. It's all jumbled up. Got anything up here? Yes, we do. Another lock to pick. Of course, the keepers, you know, at this point probably had good reason from their point of view not to warn Garrett about Constantine just yet. So of course they weren't going to tell him about the hidden facility they have here. But it sort of raises the question. I wonder if the keepers, you know, the keepers of this time in the game, I wonder if they remembered about the place that we go and find here. Or if it was forgotten to them. I would think that it wouldn't have been forgotten, and that they just decided that now is not the time to intervene. Go ahead and let Constantine take one of Garrett's eyes, and then step in. Thanks, guys. Boy, I'm apparently just wasting water arrows. Now, I don't know what this is. I always get this in this level. That's some kind of glitch. I don't know if it's a Steam glitch or a Thief Gold glitch or something about how it all plays out on my installation of Windows 7, but there's no... If there is a ghost, it's been disembodied from the level. Logically enough. Okay. Do all this in a minute. We've got 2 special friends to go visit. Now, this right here is kind of treacherous. You know, theoretically you have room to dance with them, but 2 is not necessarily less than 3. 2 is bad enough. Watch this jump here. It's potentially a killer. You know, theoretically you have room to dance, but you're kind of in a bottleneck. And getting the drop on both of them is actually not easy. So you definitely have to be as silent as you possibly can. You could make the argument that this gets easier if you leave the lights off and it's pitch black. It gets easier, that doesn't make it safe. Again, the pitch black does not always protect you. Sometimes it does in a head-on situation. More often than not, it doesn't in a head-on situation. You know, there is frontal knockouts and frontal overhead swings and pitch black that can work. It can be done, and sometimes it can even be done in a pinch. Generally, it's nothing to bank on. Now, if I had pressed forward, I probably could have backstabbed the other one. No. He's already pissed off. So we're going to have to fight this guy. Well, let's not rush. We definitely don't want to start the fight in there. What we want to do is we want to draw him out into the courtyard. If you're going to have to fight a haunt one-on-one, fighting haunts more than one-on-one is a totally different can of worms. But one-on-one, you want room to dance, yes, but you don't want to dance. Fighting haunts is like a samurai duel. I'll try to demonstrate. We want to get him outside. We don't want to start fighting him in here. Let's see if we can draw him out. So, generally speaking, straight line, you both charge at each other. Don't get hung up on trying to block. Don't get hung up on trying to dance around him and tap. You're not going to move faster than he is. You want to fly by him, land an overhead swing, and then get out of range before he can do a serious counter. In that fight, he got a couple jabs off. He didn't land, you know, a skull-crushing overhead swing. You don't want to fence with a haunt. You want to take them down in as many in as few devastating blows as necessary. That's fighting a haunt one-on-one. Now, fighting more than one haunt at a time, I and others have proven it can be done, but that's you have to be Darth Sidious and understand that you're fighting 3 Jedi Knights at once. You have to be that committed. That has to be your attitude going into the fight. You have to want the victory that bad. You know, you have to take the attitude that you've been trying to conquer the galaxy for decades, and you'll be damned if these pesky Jedi are going to stop you now. If you don't have that kind of involvement, you're not going to win. Not against 2 or 3 Haunts. At least Haunts with swords. Haunts with maces in the second game are still dangerous. They are plenty dangerous. Especially to mechanists, but they're not as dangerous as the Haunts with swords. You know, visually, the Haunts in Thief Deadly Shadows, in terms of their presentation, the Haunts in Thief Deadly Shadows were respectful of the originals. In terms of their lethality, no. I mean, they probably are more dangerous than live hammers, because they're fast, as all Haunts are. But, you know, enemies with maces in Thief Deadly Shadows are not terribly deadly. Now, that doesn't mean that Garrett in Thief Deadly Shadows is able to dispatch them easily, because, you know, the dagger is basically useless for pitched battles. It's an ambush weapon only. But, you know, someone with a short sword in Thief Deadly Shadows is going to be deadlier than someone with a mace. That's just my opinion. My opinion / my experience. Well, gee. Real marksman shit going on here. I've done better. Inartful, but necessary. There's loot down there. I'm not going to Supreme Ghost past the sky for 1 bag of loot. The water in here seems to give a lot more resistance, so it's like we're almost out of water, almost out of air already, which is why we brought this along. How you would drink breath potion underwater is beyond me, but we won't. We won't be like that. We won't be nasty. Asking questions like that is gnawing on our kitty. We don't gnaw on our kitty. Now, there's a lot of Burricks out there, and we have Mr. Infernus down here. I don't like Mr. Infernus. Now, we can get ourselves a fire arrow, but he's going to be right back. Let's just have a look. See, came right back. We use these tunnels to combat the Burricks. They're an obstruction. There is loot in here. There's health potion in here. And the Burks imagine that they're going to waylay me. We're going to disabuse them of that notion. Something very satisfying about smashing boards in this game. If you can actually get the sword to make contact with them, which right now is turning into a big if. There we go. Yeah. And the Phantom Ghost is back. Now, when you deploy mines like that, you need to not step on your own mines. Alright, we're going for it. Well, I think those mines were just deployed in error. In the second game, you can disarm them and then collect them again. Can't do that in this game. So we need to not step on them. Yeah. I don't know what's up with that ghost. At least it doesn't recklessly spawn me an extra one that can really cause problems. Oh, hello. I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend. At last, the giant spider is no... Oh! Why did I do that? Let's see what happens when you act like a total moron. As long as he doesn't start following me. Ring. Okay, now we don't know that we need to go in there yet, so we're gonna go straight past there. Got a lot of barracks. Those should do something. I'm gonna be pissed if they don't. Well, this area is not secure. progress. I don't relish slaying Burricks, I really don't, but there are only a few instances where it's really practicable to get past them safely. You don't really have to make a bloodbath out of Down in the Bone Horde. You can play the Lost City without turning it into a bloodbath. It'll cost you in loot, but in those instances, it's possible to do what you need to do safely without killing every last one of them. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have any mines left over there. Now, we've got this asshole to deal with. He already sees us. Okay. Just want to get somewhere where I can dance a little bit more. I don't need the water arrows for anything. It's not worth it. He can't really get to us. Not very impressive loot score so far. Come all this way for 2,100 and change. That's not good. Okay, here we are. Saint Terrorizer's Basilicum. This isn't the wrong place to be.
Comes a man to rescue me. Poor man. The keepers have sealed the door, and only they know how to open them. Cross you the bridge to the grotto of the keeper's sentinel. Stand you on the pedestal and illuminate the statue with fire. Then just discover the secret of the talisman.
Okay, so now that we know what we need to be doing, we can go do it. What? So we're backtracking to the grotto of the Keeper's Temple. To the pedestal, the illuminate with fire. Now, for my own edification, I'm sure I've looked up there before, but God, Goddess, and elements know when that might have been. Doesn't look like there's anything up here. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Oh, there's a health potion there too. I want to see what's inside the box first. Yoink. Alright, fire! No, I'm pretty tightly wrapped about keeping my rope arrows.
Looks like this place was built by my old pals, the Keepers. I wonder what they're hiding in here.
Hint, hint, it's not money. You still sure you want to go in there, Garrett? We're gonna do this one. You don't have to be careful at all in here. Straight between these two. I don't know if you're really supposed to do it this way, but the simplest thing is to just skip the door and go straight over the side. Because this is going to end us out. Now, you have to hand it to the Keepers. Once upon a time, they were a formidable organization to have created these satellite facilities and then let them be for decades, knowing they'd be secure. You know, they had their shit together once upon a time. But like all organizations, they became decadent and concerned with propriety and ceremony. Forgive me, Elder Draco. I did not show proper deference. I will excuse you this time. Let's see. And then we do this. I will see everybody back next time for the Lost City.